Don't sweat it. I'll just check the camera logs. Okay, Raven, so you said you'd be down for doing a prediction this season. Any episode in particular interest you?
Considering I don't really know anything about these guys except for the Marvel characters, I guess I'll take Vegeta vs. Thor, I guess?
So me and Mario are already scheduled to do that episode, and Zatanna vs. Scarlet Witch already happened.
I'm stuck with the Stomp matchup, aren't I?
You like Universal Magneto versus Planet at best Tetsuo?
I guess you gotta start somewhere. Plus, I guess it could still be enjoyable, even if it's a Stomp.
Cool, and I know you'd want to be on it if it's Mewtwo. Please be Mewtwo.
It won't be.
I know, but I can hope.
I'm so confident that it won't. Let's record it right now. You're always late with these, so let's see how bad you screw it up when it's recorded a month in advance.
You don't have to call me out like that. But sure, whatever. Let's just get this done. At least my house won't suffer structural damage from a collab with you, unlike Mario.
Yeah, totally. I would never destroy your house. No, nothing like that.
And that's why you're allowed inside, Raven. Now, less skit and more murdering Tetsuo. What's up, YouTube? Tenton here, and today we will be discussing the next time on Death Battle between Magneto from Marvel Comics and Tetsuo from Akira. As you've likely noticed, I'm not alone. Today I'm joined by...
Hey guys, it's that guy, Raven, who's constantly wrong in the reaction videos.
That's the spirit, Raven. This matchup, as you guys might know, is not a fight that I'm all that interested in. It's a stomp, and yet another Marvel character. We've had two fights this season that had nothing to do with either franchise so far. I'm getting the worst Death Battle Season 7 vibes for this season.
Only one episode has had no comic book characters whatsoever.
Yeah, but it's still early on, so we should hold judgment until we see the full season lineup. And in terms of matching the season's theme, this episode certainly has an unexpected character in Tetsuo. But then again, we have Magneto, which was completely expected. So, semantics.
Like that, the matchup has potential to be a fun animation and banter between the two, so I guess I'm personally excited to see it.
To each their own. I hope it's good regardless, and to avoid discussing the Marvel character for as long as possible, we'll be starting with Tetsuo.
Death Battle has featured a large variety of fighters with different powers over the years. A surprisingly underrepresented archetype has been second.
You know, that line would have worked better if it was Mewtwo.
Shut the fuck up, Tenton. Tetsuo, being the main big bad of his franchise, has a lot of varied abilities in his arsenal. These include telekinesis, allowing him to control anything or any person with his mind, teleportation, allowing him to go anywhere with a thought, future vision, allowing him to see future events and plan for them, gravity control, which does, well, what you think it is, and Tetsuo can also fly using this power.
Tetsuo can also talk with people using telepathy, though his version, unlike Magneto's way better version, will cause him to feel the trauma and psychological pain a person has had their entire life.
He can also create shields to protect himself, and has a healing factor that can heal minor wounds if he is seriously damaged. He can also use his telekinesis to patch himself up with nearby objects.
These powers do seem useful, until you realize that overtaxing himself will cause Tetsuo to mutate uncontrollably. Tetsuo will become a freaky, psychic, baby-looking monstrosity. In this mutant state, he loses all self-control and becomes a raging monster. Though I guess on the upside, his size does increase drastically, and his body becomes oddly acidic and will dissolve anyone who touches it.
Yeah, I don't really have anything positive to say about that.
And that, coincidentally, is his last notable power.
Really? But that was only half a page.
Obscure anime character versus Marvel Herald. This tends to happen.
Well, I guess we still have his feats. Tetsuo caused a continent-sized indentation in the moon, and once flew to the moon in a few seconds, making him well over the speed of light.
His durability should be similar to his moon-busting level of strength, so roughly multi-continental to planet, if you're generous.
Tetsuo's worst flaw isn't his mutation, but his unlimited amount of arrogance.
God complex?
Yeah, God complex.
Well, in spite of the fact he's completely doomed, Tetsuo is a villain I've never been exposed to, so I couldn't frankly care. Hey wait, isn't this normally the part where we have a happy uplifting comment?
As villains, Marvel also has heroes. But in this episode's case, Marvel also has mutants.
Well, until Scarlet Witch decides otherwise.
Magneto, being the living embodiment of social commentary, naturally lived a less than ideal life. He was cast out due to his latent mutant powers. powers, and in response to this mistreatment, he decided to begin a lifelong campaign to help his fellow mutants obtain equal rights.
Magneto's mutant ability is the power of magnetism, or more accurately, Magneto is the master of magnetism. Magneto can use his abilities to manipulate and control all metallic objects in his vicinity.
Magneto uses his magnetism to increase his suit's defense to make them as strong as adamantium. He can fly, lifting his metal suit with his powers, and his helmet is made of a special metal that minimizes the effectiveness of mental attack.
Well, when your main rival is a psychic, that's kind of a requirement. And Magneto, in spite of his title, doesn't solely rely on his magnetism.
Over the years, Magneto has learned a few other select abilities. He can control gravity, absorb and fire off blasts of electricity, affect electromagnetic fields on a planetary scale, fire off electromagnetic blasts, and lastly, he can control a person like a puppet by controlling the iron in their blood, like a bloodbender. The possibilities of that last power worry me.
Yeah, the guy has this whole creepy savior complex going on, but to Magneto's credit, his intentions are generally positive, though Magneto does have a bad tendency to leave destruction in his wake. He has defeated Cable, Apocalypse, Thor, Doctor Strange, the Incredible Hulk, he took on the entire Avengers by himself, and he helped Professor X create a mental attack so powerful that it was able to affect Galactus.
Magneto's sets are kind of hard to pin down due to Marvel's inconsistent writing at best with the X-Men, but based off of our notes, he should be at least planetary for both durability and strength, and is casually light.
That being said, you can easily scale him to Thor since he's bested him in combat, making him effortlessly universal, and in the quintillion times faster than light range.
He's gonna fucking die.
Yes, Magneto might have his issues, but like I could say a fault of his before giving an uplifting monologue, or he could be honest and admit that any flaw he could possibly have will not even affect the results in the slightest.
Okay, so we've discussed the details, and we both think Tetsuo is fucking doomed.
Magneto's gonna win. Gotta love boring matchups.
Hey, I mean, like, it's still be a good episode.
You're not wrong. But for the sake of the bit, nah, it's gonna be bad.
It's been fun, Tintin. I'll revive you with the Dragon Balls next week.
Huh. Well, this sucks. Well, you know what we think. But what do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. This has been Tintin. Peace. Please don't call the Ghostbusters.